You check the sound.
He's a
Boom!
computer.
And we are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
Yes, today it is
we
Joey
have
Cates.
technical difficulties already.
It happens, man. We ain't had one in a while, so who gives a shit? All right, so in the studio today, we got John from Charter Trash, man. Outdoor apparel, got some cool stuff out here on the table. I'm sure we're going to talk about all that, how he got his start. We actually got bullet points, a whole paper worth of bullet points of stuff we're going to go over today.
That's right.
So I'm pretty pumped. But before we do that, like we always do, we're going to thank the people that keep the lights on and the AC on, which is most important during
Ask Caleb how we sound. Caleb, you still in the comments?
Yeah, we did a little audio tweaking. So if you can't hear us or we're a little low, make sure your stuff's turned up, but then let us know in the comments. So anyway, we want to thank right out of the gate Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles. This is him and his team here that he has put together. They're located in Ocean Springs right there on Washington Avenue. If you're looking for a great local dentist, hit them up, man. We highly recommend them. You can look them up on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. And when you're ready to book that appointment, man, go get your teeth clean. It's 2023. It's the year to keep your mouth clean. Give them a call at 228-215-1202.
I say we make that the next groundwater shirt.
I think he should use that more. I think he should have branded that himself.
The year to keep your mouth clean.
That's right. Next up is Taylor & Cox Law Firm. That's our buddy Tyler. They've been practicing law over in Pascagoula for 30 years. They come highly recommended in their field. They represent Jackson County, George County, Greene County. Give them a call if you find yourself in need of some legal representation. As you can see here on the graphic, for the people that are watching, they specialize in felony cases, misdemeanors, DUIs, family law, divorce, child custody situations. So when you're ready, if you find yourself in need for some representation, you want somebody on your side that's going to fight tooth and nail for you, and that's Taylor & Cox. So give them a shout at 228-696-0111. Moving along, our buddy Rocky Brooks over at Sea to Swamp, great local apparel shop. Rocky is operating now in Gaucher and Gulfport. If you're looking for anything for a day out on the water, from apparel to rods, reels, tackle, cups, Rocky's got you covered. You can look him up on Facebook, see the number 2 and then Swamp. Like I said, local guy, keep your money in the community. He's slinging kayaks. Like I said, he's got it all covered. Give him a shout, 228-205-3964. And our buddy over at Forever Young Men and Women's Health, that's Kendrick. If you're feeling like a big turd, that's kind of like the way I like to say it. If you're feeling like a big turd on the couch,
a little sluggish turd.
Yeah, you can't get up. You can't do the things that you want to do. You don't have the energy to either get back in the gym or just get healthy again, start walking, whatever. Go let a medical professional like Kendrick do some lab work on you and figure it out. Maybe there's something lacking. Maybe it's a vitamin deficiency. Maybe it's a hormone. Maybe you need some testosterone replacement. He can do it from a professional standpoint. He can monitor you. He can get you back to where you need to be. He also treats women as well. So bring your lady friend in there with you. Book that appointment by calling 228-363-6623. And we had him on the show. So go back and look at some of the older episodes, and you can listen in. It's some really cool stuff they're doing over there at Forever Young. Randy Bosarge bringing up the rear for us, man. Our District 5 supervisor, recently reelected, wanted to stay on board with us as a sponsor, and we appreciate that. A lot of cool things going on in Jackson County right now.
I'm sure his phone is blowing up now with all this road construction.
Yeah, and it's right in front of my house too. So I appreciate the growth, but we also know that with growth comes growing pains sometimes. But we appreciate you, Randy, for everything you're doing over there and keeping us moving forward.
Yep.
And a little bit of shameless self-promotion, which I'm thinking will probably come up at some point in the conversation as well. But if you have not already registered for this weekend's Sheepshead Showdown, I think we've done a terrible job. I got it on here.
Oh,
I got a digital, baby.
God,
I think we've done a terrible job of promoting it on the show. I don't think we've mentioned it, but about one time prior to this week. So that's terrible. But it is going to be a good time. First place Sheepshead's taking home $1,700. Second place, and that's sponsored by Biloxi Beach Resort Rentals. Second place is $900, and that is Sea to Swamp. That's Rocky, right? Is that his logo on there?
Yeah,
it's a different logo. And then Hull and Hitch got
that's his Gulfport logo.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I know it looks different. Hull and Hitch got the third place $700 third place Sheepshead. Then Wicked Fish just swept the board, right, Joey?
Took all 3 of them.
All 3 of them: flounder, redfish, and speckled trout.
First and second place.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do is, today's Thursday, as we're recording this, tomorrow we're going to have the captain's meeting at 7 o'clock, right, Joey? Mm-hmm. And that's going to be live from Wicked Fish.
Yep.
It is not mandatory if you're fishing the tournament, but you are responsible to know all of the rules and regulations. So you can tune in live. It will be live streamed. You can watch that, but you do not have to come. I will, however, say if you do come, we have some free food from Cane's, I think we ended up going with. So there'll be some free chicken down there. And he's giving away what? What all we got to give away?
There's a bunch of raffles down there.
Like
buckets, all kinds of stuff.
All kind of cool stuff. Yeah. So come down and check it out. If you don't have anything to do on a Friday, come hang out with us. You can hang out. We'll shoot the breeze. And all the other sponsors that we'll be going over tomorrow night, and then also at the tournament live. You can see them down there at the bottom. It's right here at the bottom of the poster. So all right, that's
we got one of them sitting right across the table from us.
That's right. So. John, where do we start, dude?
Well, let's see. Bullet point number one.
Yeah, you typed it out, so let's might as well follow it. No. How'd you get into this crazy business of apparel and clothing?
Right. So that's man, that's a deep dive. This is what happened. I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I said, if you could do anything in the world, if money was not an option and didn't matter, what would you do? And the answer to that question was, I would be on a boat every day. Now, fishing, cruising, chilling, like whatever it is, like that's what I would like to do. Different destinations. And then so one of the 7 habits of highly effective people, Stephen Covey, is begin with the end in mind. Mm-hmm. Right. So that was the image, that was the vision in my mind was, I don't want to be in the rat race. I want to quit the grind. Like eventually,
pull that mic in.
Bad.
Down. There we go. Now we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
Bad at
That's
this.
okay. Go ahead.
But that was it. And so I was like, okay, so now we've got the vision. Now let's reverse engineer. What does it take to get there? Right. And so, having been a charter captain and grew up on the coast around fishing and what have you, the apparel game. Honestly, I was inspired by you guys. Jordan and Matthew and what they've got going on. I actually reached out to Jordan early in my decision-making process. And I got to tell you, the openness that I've encountered in the hat game and the apparel game on the Mississippi Gulf Coast has been astounding to me.
Yeah.
People, I mean, Jordan, you guys, like it's incredible. Kenneth Kreger has Undertaker Corks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've reached out to him and picked his brain. Like everyone's been so open and willing to share information and share games. So that's been really cool. But basically this is the lifestyle that I want in my retirement is to not have to worry about money, not have to worry about working every day. How do I get there? And so if I start that journey now, 10, 20 years from now, then maybe it lands me somewhere where I can realize that goal.
Yeah.
Another thing about this business is trying to teach. I have an 11-year-old son named Trent Jones, who is a brilliant student. He's a really good kid. Anybody that knows Trent just will tell you that. But my wife and I want to teach him business principles.
Right.
And how to grow a business, how to brand a company, basic sales tactics. I watch my son at live events count change back to people out of a change box. Mm-hmm. Y'all, that is a lost art.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to McDonald's or wherever and the computer's not working,
good luck.
They're done.
You better give them a whole $1 because they're not getting change back.
Yeah. I'll try to hand somebody a $5 and a nickel, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy.
You gave me too much money.
I've done run the numbers in my head 3 times while they were pushing the buttons.
Right.
So, that's how we got here. How do we achieve this life goal, this retirement dream that we have? And Charter Trash was how it came about.
I love the brand name.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We rock these. I rock this hat a lot. A lot.
It means so much. So I met you guys, and then we did the Bay Rat Bash, right?
Yeah.
That was our first live event. So you don't know this, but when I picked the date, we started talking a couple of months in advance, and this Charter Trash was a concept. I had some things in play, but when I picked that date, that became my hard deadline. Okay,
gotcha.
By the time this event happens, I need to have X, Y, and Z checked off my list.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I've got to have product. I've got to have an LLC, like boom, 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 tax ID numbers. So it was important to my wife's an accountant. Melissa's her name,
That's cheating.
She's the money lady.
That's cheating.
Dude,
He's got an accountant.
Yeah,
She's cheating.
you know she knows the game.
Yeah.
Dude, listen.
We had to fall on our face like 8 times.
Yeah, we fell over a little bit.
Yeah.
But now we got his wife on it. So.
Yeah.
Behind every great man
Yeah.
is an even greater woman.
There is no doubt about that.
And I would not be anything if it were not for her.
Right.
And my family and the support that I get from them. But so the Bay Rat Bash was like an inflection point for us. It became, it went from concept and ideas and talk to
get it done.
We're going to set up our little tent and fold out our tables. And I'll never forget, we had like 8 SKUs. I had to spread them all out. Like let's. It's like when you're poor and you don't have any food to eat, you spread the food out in
make it look bigger. Yeah.
So, now it's like I'm running out of table space. We got to go vertical.
Yeah.
But that's the Bay Rat Bash was a big deal for me. It was a really big deal for me, and it wasn't even about the money or the income or whatever. It was the exposure and like hitching my wagon to you guys, honestly, and it was the first time that my son got to actually participate and see like what's it take to earn $1.
Yeah, the grind.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
The grind.
He gets to see all the back end stuff like that nobody sees. That's not the stuff we put on Facebook, right?
Right.
So, and I know you guys know. So there's so much that I call it in the lab. Like I'm in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this damn label off.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's literally 2:00 in the morning. I'm up there tweaking the website, working on designs, pressing hats. The wife's mad because I'm making noise and she can't sleep. And I'm like,
shut up.
She come up there one day with her hands on her hips talking about, what are you doing? I said, I'm building an empire.
Yeah.
I went right back to the computer screen.
I had to sleep on the couch.
I was gonna say, then I sulked down the stairs. I was like, I'm sorry, baby.
You got the first couple bricks though built that night on that empire.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, it's a 2-part because you could have the best material in the world, the best hats and all that stuff. And when somebody meets you out and you have no personality and nobody wants to talk to you, nobody's going to buy your product.
Right.
So you not only do you have to have a decent product, but you got to be pretty decent at communicating with people, at least for them to know who you are and, hey, I like that guy. You know what I'm saying?
One of the coolest feelings now is when you see a stranger, right? So in the beginning, I'm giving stuff away and like it's my family and friends are supporting me, which is amazing. We wouldn't have got off the ground without that.
Right.
But now I'm at a point where you're in Lowe's and you see somebody wearing your stuff
weird,
and it's like, you don't know who that dude is. Like, it's like, it's the coolest feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I was at a gas station yesterday. Dude comes up to me, you're the charter trash guy. So I get that now.
Yeah, you're a celebrity now.
I mean, I'm not like Josh Harmon level, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, hey, you're the charter trash guy. I love hearing that. It's a really cool thing. But ran into a dude at the gas station, follows me on Facebook, handed him a business card. Boom, this morning, woke up, rolled over. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning now is check the website. Had a couple of sales. One of them was him. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's making it work, right?
Yeah, we'll have friends of ours, and we will too. But friends of ours will like take a picture and say, "I'm at such and such, like the airport or something, or at this restaurant." And they're like, "Do you know these people?" I'm like, "No, I don't." Peter Anderson Festival. That's all I can tell you. There's a lot of stuff there. So.
Well, it's weird for us to think, and I'm sure y'all think the same way too with your boy, is that you could come up with a product that somebody else besides
you say his name, say his name, and he shows up.
Speak of the devil.
So
Josh Harmon just
to have something that somebody else that you don't know wants to spend their hard-earned money for,
right,
and that's killer,
dude. So all right, the second thing I ever sold online was like this lady works at a marina in Florida. I have no idea who she is, but she's sweet. And I checked out her profile, and her son's birthday was on a Saturday and she places her order on like a Tuesday, right? I messed up the shipping and before you know it, it's like, she's not going to get her stuff in time. So I go to the post office and I paid like more than she paid for the whole order to overnight it to her. Because it was so important to me.
Oh yeah, to get it out there.
That she got that package on time for her son's birthday. And I reached out to her, just wanted, gave her the tracking information, wanted to make sure she got it. Like those kind of things. It's not about the money really. right at this point.
It's about making it right.
It's about making it right and doing the right thing and establishing your brand. Anyways, that was a cool thing. I hope she's watching or at least sees this at some point because she knows who she is.
Yeah. Well, I got a kid in my class. He's always wearing AFCOs. He comes in with a brown water shirt. The other day, he came in with one of your blue Charter Trash shirts on. I was like, dude, get out of here with that shirt. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, no, it's a good buddy of ours. I was like, I'm glad you see. I guess he's got to be somebody's son local in the community because he's got every local charter boat guy and stuff like that around. I hadn't seen any of Josh's stuff on him, but every good.
Yeah, well, the kid's got good taste.
You know what I'm saying? All the good ones
Can't
around.
fault him for that. He must not like catching hard heads.
That's right. Well, tell us the inspiration behind Charter Trash. You were obviously on many charter boats, right?
So I was a charter whore. I started off. It's funny. My cousin, Captain Benjamin Allen, he runs with Biloxi Blue Water Charters on the Gunslinger.
Yeah.
And he and I, my last name is Jones, right? I was born in Laurel, but moved to Biloxi when I was 2. So I identify as being from Biloxi.
Yeah.
We used to go on charters, an annual charter trip with my closest group of friends on the Amberjack with Captain Greg Hebert, and Adam Ladnier was a really close friend of mine growing up, and he was the deckhand and eventually the captain on the Amberjack. So when we decided, hey, let's go out on a charter, that was the boat we were going to go on.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to be with Adam and Greg and on the Amberjack, and so we were charter guests. That's how my career as a charter fisherman started as a guest. So we go out, my cousin and I, we come in one day and we take a selfie at the dock as they're cleaning fish, and we took our sunglasses off, and I'm talking about coon eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're Scots Irish, and you get us out in the sun for a day without sunscreen. It was, so we called ourselves the coon-eyed cousins. Coon-eyed cousins. And my cousin looked at me that day and he said, I'm going to be a charter captain one day.
Yeah.
Of course, I rolled, like, whatever, dude, you know? And so fast forward 10, 15 years, my cousin became a deckhand on the Silver Dollar. Well, he worked with Captain Bill first on the Dominator, and then he transitioned to the Silver Dollar. And those guys will tell you to this day he was one of the best deckhands they ever had.
Yeah.
Way better than Peanut Kilpatrick. I mean, way better.
He might see this.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's probably on there.
So that was cool. And then I was like, well, all right, cousin, now that you've done the thing and blazed the trail,
Let me step in there.
holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
give me that hookup.
let me ride them coattails. So I started apprenticing with him. So I would go with them on trips as an apprentice. And I didn't get paid. Now, every now and then somebody would throw me a 20 or whatever. I was cool with that. You know,
so you were just learning the game. Knots, gas, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, I'd been a recreational fisherman, but I didn't know the charter game. Wasn't really a fisherman. So started apprenticing. They would let me ride along. I was third mate, whatever. Swab the deck.
That's right.
Cleaning fish, learning the game. Captain Jay and Captain Dustin are big time mentors of mine. To this day, I sat in Captain Jay's driveway at like 9:00 at night a month ago, trying to work out a work issue that I have. He's one of the people that I go to, he's a mentor of mine.
Yeah. Look up to him. Yeah.
I really do. But they took me under their wing. They saw something in me. And, to this day, they will never know, that family will never know how much they mean to me.
Yeah.
And my cousin. So that's kind of how we got our start. I transitioned from that to being the deckhand on the Miss Hospitality. Y'all had Captain Kenny Bahanovich on.
Captain Kenny, one of the best, if not the best.
Everybody had me so scared. So when he offered me the job, right, my cousin made the intro to Shipyard one day. I'll never forget it. Can you clean fish? Yes, sir. Can you clean fish on your knees? I still don't know what that meant. What did that even mean, man?
You'll have to ask you at the next meeting.
I've never had to clean a fish on my knees.
Yeah.
So, yes, sir. I was like, yes, sir. And I told him, I said, I'm not fast at it, but I can do it.
Right.
All right.
We'll get you fast.
You're hired. So the first trip we go out, I'm green as green can be.
Yeah.
We caught 58 sheephead.
Oh, damn.
Now, it's a multi-passenger vessel, so there's lots of guests, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I cleaned sheephead for 4 hours.
I believe it.
And he told me, he looked at me, he said, they were over, him and Jerry Monroe, like all the captains, they're all sitting on the picnic table drinking, and they're taking bets on whether or not I'm finna lay my knife down and just walk off. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling.
Dude, sheephead,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
tough.
saying? It wasn't like we caught 58 trout.
Yeah,
Right.
you knocked him
It was
out.
58 sheep.
I'm going to assume you didn't have a electric
No
knife
electric
either.
knife.
Oh, gosh, no.
No bubble blade?
No.
Nothing.
So-
Oh, wooden hander Dexter is
Yeah.
probably what you had.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
And he told me when I was done, he said, I won't never do that to you again.
Nice.
Well, I believe it.
That was the test.
Well, there, you had to walk through it.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I can tell you so many Captain Kenny stories. Some of them I can't tell you, but
Yeah, right.
I'm sure he was full of a lot more piss and vinegar than he is now.
Shit, he's still full of a lot of piss
I
and
know.
vinegar.
people were like, so when I first got to like, oh man, Kenny's he's this, he's so mean, he's this. They had me like scared of him, right?
Yeah.
And after I was like, what are y'all talking about?
Right.
He's the nicest man. But he busts people's balls, and they think he's being real. That's the thing. Like, you got to know how to take a joke,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're gonna hang out with Kenny B.
Yeah.
So, spent a lot of time. His grandson Brandon, little Brandon we call him, but Brandon Morano Jr. He's been charter trash. That dude bleeds charter trash. Like, he's so cool. He buys merch. He's constantly putting our stuff out there. You know. That family, it's funny because Bahanovich and Trosset, right? The only two living IGFA Hall of Fame captains on the coast.
Correct.
Yep. Been our travels since they were on the playground at Sacred Heart or Nativity or whatever it was back in the day. I used to tell him, you know, Jay would tell me, you tell Kenny I said this. And then next weekend I worked for Kenny and he's like, you tell Jay I said this. You know, I'm like, y'all are going to cry at each other's funeral.
Ain't no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We need to get Captain Jay on here.
You really
You brought
do.
it up the other day about maybe we get him back on. If we had Kenny on there, we got to have Captain Jay on there.
Man, Captain Jay is a good time.
But to me, those are the best stories.
Right.
And I hate to use the word older generation, but they are getting up there.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stories they have are just word of mouth. Like, it's not recorded anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Mr. Alan Baker we had the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his story, I don't know if he's got it recorded or anything like that. Now it's, you know, everybody can hear that he grew up on Deer Island, all this stuff like that. So if it's one thing we're doing right with this show, that's it. We're doing a little history on it.
I love that. That's actually one of my favorite things about Facebook is, other than being able to have friends and family and all over the country, allowing them to see my son grow up. Like, that's, for me, that's what Facebook is. But the memories, you know, that you share and that you have captured. I hope my account never gets hacked.
As long as Zuckerberg don't shut us down, we'll be all right.
Like, but that is a fun part of it. The social media thing is the memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you fell in love with the golf and this lifestyle, is through chartering or working your way up the ranks and then chartering. So how did you worked with Kenny?
Yeah.
Right. And then how did you make it from there to captain yourself?
El Capitan.
So actually, I realized I had a better chance of getting a job as a deckhand if I had my captain's license, and I'd spent enough time on other boats. I own my own boat.
How old are you at this time too?
At that time,
Like when you're working with Kenny?
38, 39-ish.
Okay.
I'm 44 now. So, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I look a little rough. I look older than 44, but it's been a rough 44 years. I'm going to tell you, construction and boats, like, it does it to you.
Yeah.
So I realized, like, well, if I get my captain's license, then that makes me a better candidate for a deckhand position. Right. So when Kenny hired me, I had my license, but I was what they call a paper captain. Hadn't really ever been a captain.
Yeah,
you know
he's got a piece of paper, no water on his feet.
That's it. So when I went on with him, now he sold the boat eventually, and I moved on and started running on private boats. Now I'll say this. I got to say this. Mikey Moore, whom y'all have had on, he's one of my mentors as well. Mikey Moore gave me a shot before anybody else would. And I don't blame him. I ain't mad at him. But Mikey saw something in me, and he trusted me with his boat. I got a funny story. We went on a dry run on the Strictly Business. He wanted to see me handle the boat. Right. And so we go out, we run down the channel, we come around, we come back. I bring it back in the slip. I'm so freaking nervous, right?
Knees
And
knocking.
if you ever been around Mikey, he's in my ear, and he's just talking the whole time, and I'm trying to put this thing in a slip, and you have never believe how nervous I am, and he's talking, and I'm working the throttles, doing my thing, and he says, "Okay, that was perfect. Now let's do it at our slip."
Pulling the wrong slip.
Literally back the boat into the wrong slip.
That's really good.
Nailed it.
It's the wrong slip, though.
We can't just sign up here for
Yeah,
tonight. Nobody's
I think
here.
it's good.
You mean I got to do this again?
Yeah.
So
How did that second round go? Did you get it in there
Oh,
too?
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 for 2, baby.
thread the needle. You know what
There
I'm
it
saying?
is.
So
You should have been like, I just wanted to show you I could do it twice.
you know what I'm saying?
I just
Did that on purpose.
I thought this was a better slip. I just wanted you to have this one.
So then I run the sailfish for him for a few trips, and it was during COVID, so my son was out of school, and so I was bringing him with me, and he's on the boat as a guest basically. And the thing about the sailfish, it docks differently than any boat I've ever seen anywhere in the world, and I've been in some ports, right?
It's weird. He bounces it off.
You got this metal fork on the front of the boat, and you have to intentionally hit a piling,
Right.
Yeah.
which is so counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, and then swing it.
And then you gotta turn the wheel a certain way, do the throttles a certain way,
And it's a dang captain's, like a pirate steering wheel. It's not like a regular steering wheel. It's like a pirate steering wheel.
Dustin Trosset taught me something. He said his grandfather taught him this. He said, "You know what them pilings are there for, boy? To lean on." and that's been some really good advice. There are times in the wind. I mean, bringing the boat in, the little center console that we run on the weekends, just me and my family, bringing it into the slip the other day. I had to lean on the piling because of what the wind was doing. It's trying to push me off the dock.
Sometimes you can't do it.
And I told everybody, I was like, all right, I'm going to lay up on this piling. I'm going to do this. And then we're going to be right where we need to be. And anyway, that's so, the pilings are there to lean on.
Yeah. You got a nice rub rail.
I can't. There's like 2 or 3 people that told me because I talked about I wanted to drive that thing. He said I talked to 2 or 3 people. Said that's the hardest driving boat, whole steering boat there is in the world.
Dude, he told me, Mikey Moore said, you know why we named it the Sailfish? Because it's like a sailboat basically. It's single screw,
right?
And if you've ever, I've worked on shrimp boats. Jason Privet's a very good friend of mine. He's one of my charter trash ride or dies.
Right.
And he had a single screw shrimp boat. That dude used to call me like, I'm finna go out by myself. You gonna roll with me? I was like,
negative,
dude. I'll go with you just to keep you from being out there alone. But I'm only gonna drive the boat. I'd always end up picking shrimp. Doing.
He's like, sure.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I got you.
Yeah.
Look, before we were one night with Jason on the shrimp boat. He's on the back deck. I'm on the wheel. And I see some stuff going on in front of us, and I know something's not right. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And I was green as I could be. And I was like, finally I got scared, and I ran on the back. I was like, Jason, something's going on, man. I need you to come up here. He comes running in there, starts grabbing the wheel, coming hard port, playing with the throttle. He's like, JJ, that's a barge. We're about to hit a barge.
Yeah, that's not right.
He's like, dropped the net overboard so that it would dig in.
Yeah.
It'd help us
Spun
turn.
around.
You know what I'm saying?
It's bad.
Yeah. So
Did you hit it?
I was a paper captain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't hit it. Okay.
Yeah.
He had a piece of paper in between that shrimp boat and that
Yeah.
ball.
That's how close it was.
But that shrimping, that's real man's work, bro. I ain't built for that.
No, I've only done it recreationally as a kid, like, 1 or 2 trips, throughout the season, few trips, whatever. But that way is fun, especially when you're a kid. You get to see all the stuff in the picking box and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But to do it for a living, I'm good.
And then those guys these days, man, the pricing.
I know.
It's almost not worth it.
The import shrimp, and like that's something that the legislators really need to address.
Yeah.
And I think some people are trying, but it breaks my heart to see those boats tied up.
Yeah.
I think they're passing, from what I hear, that everything has to be labeled
Right.
Gulf caught shrimp. And if you ask for it, of course, they're supposed to tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Who's that posting out of Ocean Springs? I see it regularly slip down.
17?
Yep.
Yeah.
We need to get them on here, man.
Yeah.
They had some pretty brown shrimp they posted
Yeah,
today.
they had
Like
a bunch of
$4.99
them.
a pound or something. I forget.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I need to go scoop some up.
I know
Yeah,
Frankie
okay.
Parker. He's in Ocean Springs. He posts a lot.
I'm going to do something that I'm not supposed to
Gunsmoke, I
do.
think.
You look it up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just messaged him today.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
Mr. Rick Block. That's who it is. I'll give
Okay.
him a shameless plug. And he is on the Leon May.
Yeah.
The Leon May,
There you
slip
go.
17.
That's,
Yeah,
I
that's
knew
it
it was
right there.
7 or 17. So
Yeah.
you had some beautiful looking shrimp in the picture that he posted.
Yeah,
so
they were doing,
can't beat the brown shrimp.
Yeah.
So that was where are we at on the list over here, boys?
So how do
Let's check it off.
how do we get to the real Captain JJ?
Real Captain
How do we
JJ.
get that nickname already?
So I guess it was tied to a political figure who was the real Donald Trump.
Oh,
okay.
All right. Yeah.
And so
Well,
I was
there went the
trying
stream. That just
Oh, sorry.
Shut down.
We're off.
We thought you were the real Slim Shady there
Yeah,
for a minute.
well,
He already hit it in a rap lyric, so keep going.
There's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
grew up
okay.
in the 90s. I'm a little gangster. So, but this is how it happened. I was trying to come up with an email that, for the boating business. And I wanted to, Captain JJ was obviously already taken. So I was like, well, how about the real Captain JJ? Well, that was already taken. So I said, okay, reel, REEL, like a fishing reel.
Right.
And so, but the problem with that email is when you're trying to explain it to somebody over the phone,
Messes it up.
They
every
don't
time.
get
it's
it.
just like your email needs to be really simple.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it needs to be, let me draw it with crayons for you.
Yeah. No, real. Like
Real.
reeling.
Right.
Yeah, real. Yeah.
And all the words need to only be able to be spelled
Yeah.
one way with no meanings,
That's
no
right.
hanging
So-
extra letters of any kind. So
But the name, let me tell you this story. The name Charter Trash, where did that come from?
that was one
Okay.
of my questions.
So we have to move the boats every year out of the Point Cadet Marina for the Mississippi Billfish Classic, right? And the boats get displaced for that week.
Yeah.
And
Robbie and him.
yeah, so
Carter,
it's awesome. Like it's great. The amount of revenue that it brings to the coast. We love the buzz around the Billfish Classic.
And just to see those boats.
Oh, dude,
beautiful.
It's like something out of Palm Beach.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I actually shot some really good drone footage there one day. I've got an incredible video that the sunset was amazing. Anyway, I'm in a rabbit hole. But so we moved to boats. Billfish Classic comes to town. Billfish Classic leaves town.
Right.
We bring the boats back. Well, we're bringing the boats back. We're back in the Silver Dollar and the Slip. They always want me to go along because I'm the tall guy, and you got to lasso the pilings.
Mm-hmm.
And Cole and Jay or Cole and Maddox run the boat now, and they're both they're not tall. We'll just say
Vertically
like that.
challenged.
They're not tall, so they bring me along so I can lasso the pilings. Well, we back it now. We get her tied up. We're all chilling, having a drink in the parking lot, and there's this pair of shoes somebody left on the dock. And Sebo was there, Captain Sebo on the SYL.
Yeah, we know that guy.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, y'all have heard of him.
We
Yeah.
have heard of him.
Yeah. So Sebo's there, and he goes, "Look at that! They left all this trash around here, and they call us charter trash." Talking about the rich yacht guys.
That's right.
They show up to town in their $5 million Viking, leave their $100 pair of shoes on the.
Somebody clean it up.
JJ's in the comments right now. Speaking of that,
JJ, he's home. He should be home or getting home.
He said they're going to fish it this year on Team Harvey Viking. Yeah,
there it is.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the first time I'd ever heard the phrase charter trash. And I told Sebo this at the Bay Rat Bash is when I told him that story, and I gave him that hat.
Yeah.
And I said, you'll never know like how much that meant to me. And so there's a video I did years ago at Hurricane Hole, and I might have had a couple.
Maybe.
I mean, it happens.
Was it that drone video?
No, different video.
Okay.
But I was, I think it was Sally, Hurricane Sally. Anyway, I do a video. We're tied up. All the work's done.
Right.
Once the work's done, that's when we're popping tops and
drinking
the grills
beer,
come
frying,
out.
fish, and all that stuff. Yeah.
And growing up as a kid, you always heard about like the parties at Hurricane Hole, and it was this mythical thing that like if you didn't know where it was, like
you never find
the first time I tried to go there on my little skiff to go pick somebody up, I had to call 3 different people to like, okay, I'm at your mama's house. Where do I do now?
Yeah.
So I filmed a video, and I'm like, just charter trash out here doing our thing. And that was the first time that I used the phrase.
charter trash.
And it just, I don't know, when Sebo said it that day, it really stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it's like oil field trash. If you've ever met one of those kind of guys.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Foster.
Frank Foster.
Yeah, well, they wear that on their sleeve. Bro.
Yeah.
They got it tattooed on them. It's on their truck. Brandon Seymour, Carrio, and all these guys, buddies of mine I went to high school with that are captains working the oil patch. Oil field trash. They're proud of that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, guess what? I'm proud of being charter trash. You know what I'm saying? You can call me what you want, but that's who I am. And when I was growing up, the captains at the Broadwater were larger than life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like superheroes.
I mean, they literally, I don't think they realize. I really don't think they realize like what they meant to guys like me back then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a kid, Adam Ladnier, his dad is a legend, Charlie Tuna. You got Brandon Trossett, all these guys, Captain Kenny on the Miss Hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they were, I mean, to me, they were just larger than life. They're like comic book heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it really, to be, and my last name's Jones. I'm an Irishman born in Jones County. Like my chance of becoming a charter guy in Biloxi are 1%.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have the right last name. It's like the fishing cartel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't just let anybody.
Who's your grandpa?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Out.
Are you a jugger? If you had a jugger, brother, forget about it. Right.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like so for me to even that day on the Amberjack, when my cousin looked at me and said, "I'm gonna be a charter fisherman one day," I'm like, whatever, dude. We're from Laurel. We're like,
Yeah, you Yankees.
You know what I'm saying,
You
right?
Yankees, yeah, you Yankees ain't gonna get no vote slip down here.
It was anyway. They meant a lot. There was a time in my life I moved out of my parents' house when I was 18 years old, and I thought I had the world by the balls and thought I had all the answers. Right?
Didn't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I moved out the house, got an apartment. I'm going to do this thing myself. And there was a time in that period where I didn't have food to eat.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the white trout at the Broadwater under the lights at the President, that literally was my grocery store.
Yeah.
And I remember catching a bull red one time. One of my friend's dads took me out to Ship Island, and I caught this bull red, and it was the biggest fish I'd ever seen in my life. And I never. It was one of those moments I will never forget. I ate on that fish for a week, and we ran out of flour. We were frying fish in grease with no flour.
Just put them straight in the grease. It tastes the same.
Hungry, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You'll do some things when you're hungry, and I was too proud to go to my mother and be like, look,
I might have
I'm
messed
in this,
up.
I'm in this situation. It wasn't on her.
Right.
That was on me.
Yeah.
And ego and pride when you're young and like that, it does some things to you. But what it did was it taught me how to make it. I've been teaching my son, Trent Jones, he's 11 years old. Been teaching him how to fish and hunt and grow a garden and how to cook and
Yeah, self-sufficient.
what Charter Trash kind of is about is for Melissa, my wife, and I to teach our son how to grow a business and how to brand a company and basic business principles. I'll tell you this: we landed our first retail deal recently.
Yeah.
You're supposed to breaking it out on this show right here, right?
Big
If we had
announcement.
you got a drum? Do a drum roll, yeah.
There we go.
So Charter Trash will now be available in Sea to Swamp with
Sweet.
Rocky Brooks.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
You've heard of him?
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Sorry, Josh. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
It was funny. When I approached Rocky, I said, man, I haven't approached you because, and this is a true story. You asked Rocky. I said, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. And I was like, I know Josh has his stuff here and Brownwater Banter has their stuff here and several other people. I said, so I was kind of hesitant. I really was hesitant just out of respect to you guys because you will never know how much you've inspired me to do this. Right. And so eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to him about it anyway.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I'm going to get some good advice from him, which I did. He was that conversation with Rocky was amazing.
Yeah.
I walked away from that with more knowledge and an insight into a retailer's perspective.
Right.
He sees it every day. He's
Right.
too
He's
slow
living it.
twice.
He's living
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I don't have that perspective,
Right.
especially in the apparel space. So, man, that was really cool. But when I picked my son up at school that day and I said, guess what, Trent? We just landed our first retail deal. The very first thing he said was, what's our percentage?
Nice. I like that kid.
That was one of the proudest moments in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11 years old.
He even asked Mayor. He's just like, what are we making, Dad?
What was
we
our
got?
percentage?
I'll tell you how our conversation with Rocky went. We said we will do $2 cheaper than anything Josh is doing, and you can throw all his shit out.
Yeah.
And we'll take that space so it doesn't even take up any more room in your store than you already got.
That's right.
That's how we ended up in there.
Yeah.
Feel the love.
I'm almost sold out of everything.
We only had 3 of each thing, so it wasn't hard.
Oh shit! Going back to the name though, did you? I mean, you grew up here. You said born in Laurel, moved down here when you were 2 though. If you go anywhere north of like, let's just say even like in Hattiesburg specifically, we're known as coast trash.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that term? I thought that's what you were playing off of.
Well, so it's funny. There's actually there's a charter guy called Boat Trash Charters.
Yes.
I believe
That's not you. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah,
No,
so
it's Boat Trash.
It's not. It's called Boat Trash, and he kind of reached out in the early days and was like, what's man? It's not. I'm not even a charter guy. I'm just trying to sell hats. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't even know he existed at the time that we came up with the concept. I came up with the concept, when SIBO said what he said, it planted a seed in my brain. And then years later, it was like, well, let's make an apparel company out of it. But yeah, the coast trash, oil field trash, honestly, influenced my decision more than anything because that has some traction.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's everywhere. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do it. It's a little bit edgy. Right. So like you're celebrating the fact that people consider you trash. Some people.
When I went, you went to Hattiesburg, when I went up there, I was like, hell yeah. If that's what you want to call me, I love it.
If you want to live in Hattiesburg or live on the coast,
if I'm
whatever,
trash, let's go.
Like,
Yeah.
Have you been to the coast?
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Ever been to Horn Island on Sunday?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I really want to hang out in Hattiesburg.
yeah. So,
where else are we going? I mean, you got. I'm checking the notes. You got Yule's, right?
Yeah,
so you were there at for the
we did
poker run.
Yes,
Neptune Poker Run.
We did it. All right. So I was at actually your mama's house for the Neptune Poker Run.
Okay.
So a little side story real quick. My wife and I started a consulting firm in like 2006 called Jones Consulting. And she's an accountant. I'm into business management and construction. And so I had friends basically that had businesses that needed advice. And it got to a point where the advice they needed, I needed to charge them for. It was taking up some time. Right. So we formed this company, and it's still a thing today. So Yule is one of the companies that I helped him on the front end get that company off the ground, right? Helped him establish things. I've got a chef background and several other things. I'm one of those guys that like does everything.
Yeah.
So I consult with Yule on menu and pricing and marketing and branding. Helped him with the paperwork and stuff to actually get the company established. The first day he was open, it was me and Dustin Trosset and like, who all was there? Anyway, there was a bunch of us down there with like a folding table and a fryer cooking fish plates. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was like
just to get the name out,
just to get it rolling.
Yeah.
And so Yule's a very close friend of mine.
It's a big dude.
Dude, he's incredible.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He really is.
I'd hate to arm wrestle
until he isn't, buddy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I hate to arm wrestle.
Like I've heard the war story. Him and Hiram. Like I've heard and said like there's anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and then your mama's house, Jessica. I went to high school with her.
Right.
And the Lawsons, I mean, in the seafood and restaurant business on the coast, I mean, they're you know what I'm saying. They're an establishment, right? So. I reached out to her when the Neptune Poker Run was going down. At first, I reached out to, Chris and Shane Malpas to make sure, hey, man, I want to do this thing, but it's your deal, and I'm not trying to like step on any toes. So is it cool? And they were like, absolutely, let's do it. And so then I went to Jess and was like, hey, I got clearance from the guys. Is it cool if we set up and do our thing? I'll pay you a vendor's fee. And she's like, you ain't paying me nothing. So yeah, we set up our thing, and it was amazing. We did good.
Yeah.
I mean, we did good that day. And so I was like, wow, well, that was cool. And there wasn't, so then a couple weeks later, I was like, well, what else can I do like that? And so I was like, well, go set up at Yule's. So I called Yule. Hey man, I want to come set up my pop-up tent, sell hats next Saturday. What do you think? Like, come on, Johnny. Like, not even hesitate. Of course, they won't take a dime from me.
Right.
And so that's really neat. It goes back to like, the camaraderie in this hat game. I have been really taken back by how people are so willing to help. Jordan and Matthew. Like,
Did you know Jordan before? How'd you know?
Never met Jordan.
Just saw the podcast and.
I've seen him on Facebook. He's friends with a lot of people I'm friends with, like that kind of thing. And so he'd like seen the charter trash thing kind of kind of popping off. And we bumped into him one day at Dustports. He was like, I was like, hey, Jordan. He goes, you're the Charter Trash guy, right? I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And we rapped for a minute. We swapped phone numbers. I, gave him a hat. And dude, like a week later, we had like an hour and a half long conversation on the phone.
That sucker can talk.
They can.
Jesus.
I can too. I don't know if you know this.
Well, I don't want to be on a dang group phone. That's a job.
Dude, he like.
All right, I gotta go. All right, I gotta go.
Sorry,
All right, I gotta go. All right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But the amount of knowledge and insight that he shared with me during that conversation, watching this guy catch hard heads and sell hats has been an inspiration.
If Harmon can do it, anybody can do it.
You guys and y'all, to me, y'all are like, y'all have made it. Like in my mind, y'all have made it, right?
Not quite.
I'm just saying,
quite.
like,
Not
you
quite.
still got your real jobs.
It's bumps and bruises.
Yeah, I had my best day the other day selling hats, man. Just opened up, got a website going on.
Harmon's off camera here talking about
Yeah.
how he just got his website up. I think that we told him to do about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Well,
Josh.
Live stream when people do my phone was
Yeah, I kind of think Justin and I told you that standing right over here.
Yeah.
It's been a couple months ago. Yeah, well,
It's bumps and bruises that all of us have gone through.
Right.
So, go ahead. The easiest way, as long as Captain John doesn't care.
yeah.
It,
I'm not interrupting.
No. The way you do it is like you take away one bruise or one bump, and that we've learned, and give it to you, and now all of a sudden, you're.
My Uncle Craig is he's one of my ride or dies. He has been by my side.
Is it on?
I can hear y'all. Yeah.
Oh, his mic's not on.
Oh, thank God, because it was on.
Yeah.
Keep it off.
Yeah.
No, Dad.
My Uncle Craig he's been by my side at every event I've done, except for the Bay Rat Bash. He wasn't here for that one. But one of the things he taught me was to learn from his mistakes.
Well,
And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we didn't when we got into it, we didn't start an LLC. We didn't do our tax ID. We went a whole year without having our tax ID. So when we finally got it,
No, I think we had that right out the gate.
or we didn't. We weren't paying the taxes.
No. What it was is we weren't keeping up with QuickBooks every single month.
Right,
monthly is all it was.
So,
hey, let me refresh this if he's going to be on here real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me do this. Stop. And
Josh, you're already messing stuff up, bro.
That's normal.
yeah, all right, good. Now that way when he talks, he'll be on there.
Inventory.
Put it in.
Keeping up with inventory, coming up with new styles. Doing all that stuff, keeping it all on the website, putting it out there. That's all learning curves that every one of us at this table had to learn. You know
That's
what I'm saying? And the best way to do it is look at somebody else's failures. Well, he did that wrong. Let me try to do this right. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it all the time.
Jordan was the I've watched you fish, bro. I know. Jordan was the first person that told me, like, you need to do the foam front truckers.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, and how cool is that? That's what he sells.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And he's like, but you need to do this.
Well,
and I'm thinking, but I don't like those hats. One of the things I've learned, it don't fucking matter what I like. Right?
There's a lot of hands.
Yeah.
It's what's hot.
My wife, bless her heart, she was the one that said, you need to do women's hats. And I was like, why? Right. And then I thought about it. It's like, dang, she might be right. We would sell more women's hats now than we do men's hats.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
You going back to the Jordan thing about sharing information or whatever. I mean, he and we've known Jordan. We grew up with him. So Jordan and I go back and forth on the phone about how to do this kind of stuff, and he'll get on my ass about something, and I'll get on his ass about something. And he kept telling me to upgrade the cameras long before we did. And he had those cameras before we did, and then they were using another program, and I told him about this program and all this stuff. And so we don't keep trade secrets. We try to help each other out. I get on his ass for making a brand. Every single brand he's got is a different name. The podcast's got a different name. The hat's
so it's hard to keep up.
Why are you doing that? And he's like, just because it makes you mad now. So now he continuously changes the name on purpose.
You got to Google 6 things.
You can't figure out what's coming or going, but that's his shtick. So good for him.
Right.
So now that we dove into the brand, tell us a little bit about what you got and what you got going on and what you're going to have Saturday.
So this is This is our best selling T-shirt.
That's like
Right.
when I think of charter trash out of the stuff that I've seen. That is
Yeah,
what I think of.
I call it
That logo.
This is the
We just showing up,
meet
bro.
and greet.
That's right.
We got the meet and greet right here.
That's right. That's right.
You should just walk over here and flash it. I don't know what to tell you. God, dog, did somebody put out a bat signal on YouTube? Damn, Josh is here from Cast and Coastal.
Casting Coast.
Jesus
The
Christ.
YouTubers are showing up.
That's right.
We should come here and support our boy, man.
Hashtag Charter Trash West.
There it is.
Hey, you said you were in the community. Here
That's
comes
right.
the damn
Dude,
community.
I'm down for real. Like, but
So that's your mullet shirt.
yeah, I call it the sardine can logo.
yeah. It looks like
It-
old
school,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
I
so
love
that's like my boy Matt Marver at the cannery. You know, that would be a perfect kind of style for him.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But
Come on, man.
this is a dry fit.
that camera right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
right
No, you had it. You had it.
Yeah.
That's a dry fit hat with the rope, which y'all know is super. I found y'all finally, and look,
Well, we're
when-
piggyback off of you.
and I told my wife that I said when y'all launched that, I said they did that because we're doing rope hats,
Yeah.
100%.
and that's
Well,
awesome.
I
him-
saw
him and-
online.
Him and Bob. Bob's been on our ass for
Yes,
a
yeah.
long time.
Robbie, who sponsors the show, is
The-
like,
the
bro,
guy who
bro,
led
bro,
the gate.
But I saw how
Yeah,
many
sponsor
people
off
were
the gate.
liking your rope hats. I was like, well, god dang, if everybody's going to buy some bitches, I'm going to put one out there.
I didn't even realize
worn
like
one.
rope
I
hats
don't
were
wear
a thing.
I don't. There. No. That's
I
my
didn't-
grandpa wore a rope
That's
hat.
the old.
Exactly.
That's the old Kenny
Wait,
B.
Kenny
hat.
B,
Yeah,
bro.
Kenny wears
What?
rope hats.
Look
That's
at
right.
the Fishing Banks meetings. He's got
yes,
on his
yes.
OG
Brown,
raw water.
Yeah, water.
I have one of those, by the way.
Yeah.
It's one of my prized possessions. So the rope hats are where it's at. The young cats really like them.
Yeah,
and they sell really
I guess
well.
everything comes back around
Yeah.
circle or whatever.
Now-
Those are cool.
This is a concept I came up with. People in the boating community associate with the waterways in their where they grew up, right, where they live. So, and then the thing about the Tutica Bluff is nobody can pronounce it unless you're from here.
That's right.
Right. And so I do a thing at our pop-up events. I probably shouldn't announce this, but if you can pronounce it, you get $5 off. And so
Oh shit!
9 out of 10 people at the
Yeah.
seafood festival butchered it. And I was like, all right, you owe me $5.
Right,
That was horrible. You know what I'm saying?
I got one for you.
Yeah.
That was my youngest daughter's bonus word in spelling.
Oh, wow.
If she finds you, I guarantee you she'll spell it for you in under 3 seconds and spell it for you 50 times before you know. Hey, you know how to spell Tutica Bluff? Hey, you know how to spell Tutica Bluff? Hey, you know how to spell Tutica Bluff? That's all she's going to ask the whole night.
Every
Yeah.
time I send a text or an email that has that in it, I have to take the hat off and like look at it so that I can
Yeah.
type it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, the Tutica Bluff River hats are huge. Now we did a Biloxi River hat. I made a mistake, learning curve, right?
Yeah.
And when I ordered the patches, I ordered them too big.
Is that
Okay.
the one with the shotgun?
Got the shotgun. Dude,
Shells.
it's-
That was
You can,
killer.
you can sell it though for just
So
sell
that's
it. Yeah.
my boy Jason Privet brought his backpack to the house the other night.
Yeah, yeah.
And we pressed it onto his backpack. I thought about
You can
like,
put all kind of stuff.
when I was a kid and you'd wear out the knees in your blue jeans. My mama used to put Pac-Man patches on my blue jeans.
Well, I remember
right?
we were in school and
So-
they had the old 9-inch nails patches
Yes,
and the,
yeah.
like a blue jean
or,
jacket.
or like
Yeah,
a book bag.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Bag.
So we're gonna. Yeah, I had the
Yeah.
JanSport with
Yes.
with all the patches,
Everybody
the
did.
whole bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not throwing them away, but I am reordering them. But what I did, there's a sign. If you're on 605 southbound, I live in Walt Market, 605 southbound, right there at Three Rivers. I pulled over on the side of the road in my truck, got out, took a picture of the sign. Somebody had shot it with a shotgun.
That's awesome.
And when I sent it to the designer, I was like, you know what? Keep that in there.
Digitize it.
Keep that in there. I was like, that to me, that adds to the edginess,
That's flavor.
the originality.
Do you have one here?
You know what I'm saying?
You don't?
I
Is
got
it
one in
is
the
it on your
truck.
Facebook?
I saw it. The patch is killer. It's just like this Tutica Bluff one right here, but it's got like the shotgun shit.
Right here.
This
But
big.
it's
I
big.
got it.
Yeah, that's it right
This
there.
big.
It's
And
just
look, some people might like that.
it's square.
Some people might like that.
We're gonna blast it up here. in a
Again,
second.
it ain't
That's what I'm
about. It's
waiting
not
for.
about what I like, right?
It's about what other people
Yeah.
like.
I had a misprint. My first run of hats, I had a misprint where they put the wrong color stitching on, and people have gone crazy. Maddox Trossa said it's his favorite hat that he wears.
Right there. Can y'all see it? They come up? It's just that much of a
yeah,
delay.
it's gonna be a delay.
Yeah, it's people that are watching
it is.
audio people. It looks like a channel.
Oh, yeah.
It's a green
It
channel.
looks like a channel marker.
It looks like a
When it
green
got
channel
shot
marker
up.
sign with a
Yeah.
bunch of number 9, number
That's
7.
as Biloxi as it gets. homie.
right there.
Well, I mean, in apparel, it's so weird because you can't make anything that fits everybody.
Right.
Like this shirt's too tight. This shirt's too short. This hat doesn't fit right. It doesn't, I like snapbacks, or I like Velcro. I like fitted. It's like, God bless. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the way you do it is you make it all.
Okay. You're wrong. There is one that is definitely a hat that everyone can agree on.
This one right here.
Yes,
Let's see it.
100%.
Yeah. So this is our best seller.
Yeah, I like that one.
Let me see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
I mean, who hasn't peed in the pool?
I do, but I'm
Josh, have you peed in the pool?
Dude.
No, never.
Fucking liar.
He's classy though. He's not. He ain't like y'all. He's classy.
You ain't got to lie to me. I'm not your wife.
I'm just not a big fan of the foam hats, but they sell.
Dude,
They
Jordan, again, he shared some game with your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never, ever, because I'm like you, bro. I'm a Richardson 112 ride or
Yeah,
die,
right,
like
too.
to life.
Well, that's our generation, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So, but that funny, edgy kind of thing like that. Imagine being on a cruise with your family or your friends and you're all wearing it in the pool. I mean, it's just, I'll tell you this, when we go out on the boat, sometimes I wear this hat. I cannot stop at the gas station. It takes me 10 minutes to get out of the gas station.
How would you get that?
Every single person wants to know about the hat. And so that's something, this is a really good, just a different colorway with the
cool
sardine patch.
Yeah.
Marcus, we make visors. He said in the comments, nobody makes visors.
We have visors.
I
Marcus.
made him visors too, and he won't wear them.
What a
Okay,
loser.
I'm too bald for
Marcus?
visors.
He
Talking
went,
about the
he, went
dude
to, he
that-
went to see this one and bought an AFCO visor.
Marcus McDavid.
After I gave him
Disrespectful.
visors. It's so disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
See if I ever give him anything else.
He wears blue jeans when he dives.
True.
He does wear blue jeans when
But
he
he
dives.
is a diver.
Yes.
He also
he's
takes
gangster,
that. He
bro.
also takes that Blazer Bay 60 miles
So
offshore.
did y'all see my post
He will
about
take
the
that blazer
fog,
anywhere.
about the
I promise
fog?
you.
that's the real story, man. I
That's
was
the
on
same
the
boat
survey
I got,
vessel.
and I don't go past the islands in it.
Dude, I'm on the survey vessel. I'm on the wheel. It's so I am you couldn't have slid a piece of paper between my cheeks. You know what I'm saying? I got a
Grease
really
BB.
really
Yeah.
expensive side scan sonar is a quarter mile behind me. And we're in Main Pass, there are rigs everywhere. And anyway, so and out of the corner of my eye, I see this white flash. And it looks like a bass tracker. Like like I'm on this big, I'm way up high, and I see this little
14-foot
thing, and I'm like,
skiff,
and dude, they cut my bow. I'm like, look at these cowboys. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Was it Marcus? Oh God,
Dude,
I
I'm
100% believe that.
Oh, so I'm like, I'm a ram vessel, right? Restricted ability to maneuver.
Yeah, so
Ball
you got the
diamond
right
ball.
way. Yeah.
And so I'm like, dude, I can't check up. I can't turn. There's
just
a
go
rig
run
right
them over.
there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I hope this works out. And of course, I'm on the radio. They cut across, and I can tell they're having a good time. And I'm like, look at these cowboys. All right, fellas.
Yeah,
He ain't got no radio.
Go get it.
on.
You know what I'm
Marcus
saying?
McDavid, I'm telling you right now, dude. We have launched because we fish all the time together,
Right.
and the weather will be so bad. And I'll be like, Marcus, are you sure we're heading down the water?
Yeah.
Puts them
I'm
on
like,
the dash.
Are we sure? Are we safe? He says, "Shut up, sit down, and hold on. We're going. Just the plan. We're sticking to it.
Yeah.
Like, man, he don't give a fuck.
Look,
That
later,
Blazer Bay will run, bro.
later
That
that
Blazer
night,
Bay will run.
I was laying in the rack later that night. I'm looking at Facebook, and I see Marcus posting pictures. It is socked in fog, shooting
Yeah.
fish in the face. And I'm like,
Just
that's-
cut off this big
dude,
boat.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I almost killed you today.
What were you driving? What were you driving?
It was a survey vessel. I don't want to,
Okay, do specific.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like size
boat.
wise.
It was
Big boat.
It was
Okay,
big.
okay.
It was a big
Gotcha.
boat.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's funny.
So it was pretty.
I totally believe that story. 100%.
So
All right,
look,
what else we got?
These
Keep
two
going
right
through.
here, this brown and khaki.
I like that.
Yeah,
It's
I like
hunting
yeah,
season.
that's good.
This is what I call the OG logo. That's the very first logo we ever came out with. Live to fish, fish to live.
Oh, that's good.
So if you're a charter
that.
captain, charter
You
deckhand,
kind of hit 2 home runs, I feel like, on the logos right out of the gate.
I appreciate that.
You know
What is that? A mullet and a sword, or what is that? A
It's a tuna and a sword.
tuna and a sword?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I do all my own designs. We
Yeah.
talked about that earlier.
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
This is probably our best. I mean, keep saying that, right? How many bestsellers can you have?
I think
But
only one.
all of them.
this
I'm not good with math, but I'm pretty sure it's one.
Is that a
Yeah,
Richardson?
pretty
That's
sure
a
it's one.
Richardson.
it is.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's the ones we have too.
yeah. So this is a real. It is. I've
Yeah.
researched your product.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He's scouting. He's making sure.
Hey man, that's how
So
you
look,
get it.
Yeah.
That red. I think that red, and the red it pops.
Absolutely.
These dry fit hats are just a different.
Everybody
breed.
loves them.
They don't get the sweatbands like.
I'm gonna
like
try
the
to wear one. I'm
Richardsons.
gonna try it and see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to wear one. I don't know if I can do it.
You got
That's
different
another
colors.
just different colorways in the Tutica Buff, different colorways. Oh, I got 2 of those.
How
This kind of thing. So a very good friend of mine, actually Caleb Wyndham,
Oh, I like that.
his girlfriend Janelle Hawkins has a company called Sandcastle University.
I messaged her the other day. She was in Ocean Springs, and I want to get her on the show. Do you know her good enough to get us on the show?
I will absolutely get her
There
on
it
the
is.
show.
Yeah.
All right,
So
Janelle,
they're
you
from
heard that.
they're from
Okay.
Orange Beach, and what they do is they come over in like beaches and build like these crazy sandcastles.
Dude, she
like
is-
stupid
she
sandcastles.
Is that like some of the what they do at the mall?
Yes.
Something like that. Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So there's still one in Ocean Springs.
But her business model is actually it's an excursion. If you're on vacation in Orange Beach with your family and you're trying to look for things to do, you book a class with her. It's called Sandcastle University, right? And there's like 10 people, and everybody gets a bucket and a shovel, and they teach you how to build high-end sandcastles.
It's like those paint classes, right? When you drink wine and they tell you how to paint on
Her
the
stuff
canvas or
is
whatever.
legit. Like her stuff is legit.
Yeah, that's cool.
She's awesome.
I love creative stuff like that.
I could do a deep dive on that, but she rocks this hat.
That's like the old school Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
So what I call this, I have all my different designs named. I call this totally 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's like skate or die.
Yeah.
Totally rad.
The Ultimate Warrior, bro.
Yeah. So this is Paul Harper, brother. If you're listening, Paul Harper, he wants this hat so bad. Y'all know the story about the tie and the fads? There's a Facebook group, Florida Fishing Fads.
Yes.
Right? It's like 12,000 strong. Like, it's a pretty big Facebook group. Well, some dude was on there one day doing a rant about I was driving past one of the fads, and this boat was tied off to it, and he had single twin 200s, and everybody starts dogging this
and
dude.
And it blew up.
And it turned into a thing for like weeks. And so that's one of the things about what we do. You have to be able to you gotta be nimble.
Strike when the iron's hot.
Strike when the iron's hot. You have to be able to latch on to a social movement and take advantage of that, right? And it's like it's got to happen fast because in today's world, our attention span is like 3 seconds.
Joey did it to Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
And he called him a big.
What did he do to Garth Brooks?
Garth Brooks was coming
do that.
through.
He didn't do that. No.
Oh,
Not
So it was the Garth Brooks concert. It was hot. Everybody on Facebook's talking about it. So I just made a comment.
Well, he did something, I think, in the media. I don't know. He did something. He made a post. He always says kind of.
But it was right after the show he played in Baton Rouge, where it's the biggest show, blah, blah, blah.
Registered as an earthquake and all this shit.
Yeah.
And Joey said about how he's still like.
I said, no matter how good he can sing, he's still a hippie liberal dude.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the share. Look.
It's like.
Right.
And I even got back on. I was like, I really don't care how he votes. It's just a joke. And they're like, I don't care if it's a joke. I love him.
No, because what happens is that you probably know this, Josh. Joey says something, then one somebody says something else, and somebody defends him, and then it just starts.
It makes it go.
It's a piss.
I'll post a controversial YouTube video, but just about fish cleaning.
Right.
I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
It'll go 4 million views and just thousands of comments.
Yeah, it's just fire.
People, Marcus should have done this and all that, and it's just I'm just like, keep going, keep talking, keep going.
I still fuck with Marcus about the snapper that went overboard.
That was
dude. I mean, he will never live that down.
He won't. Dude, he was on MTV because that video was on MTV.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Barstool Sports. It was all over the place.
I didn't realize it went like
that.
It
went like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it went like that.
And then I had to tell Joey to go back and edit it and put our website just at the bottom. Just put our website on. No, he did.
I sent you the video.
No, not that. I'm talking about the Garth Brooks.
On the Garth Brooks thing.
So he edited it.
So I'd posted on my page.
Yeah.
And then I went back and edited it and put brownwaterbanner.com.
That's it. Nothing.
So all of a sudden,
right on it. So our website,
was getting
tracks.
destroyed.
It was like you have a spike in attention. It was like
just people
broke
going
the
internet
for no reason. They're like, what is this? Click.
Oh, they hate Garth Brooks too.
Yeah. They're like, what is this shitty podcast? I don't care about this. And they left and didn't buy anything.
Well,
Going back to my wife being the brains behind the operation.
Yeah.
Right. I call it a warden. And she was like, "Don't you call me the warden on the thing." I'm sorry, babe.
Too late.
But
Swinging and a
she was
miss.
like, "But when I do the IP
warden.
in pools or I tied a fad," she's like, "But it doesn't say charter trash." So I printed these little bitty tiny chartertrash.com. Exactly what you're talking about. Like, you got to get some juice from it, right?
Oh, no doubt.
Right.
And I need people to know, like,
I was going to ask you what that was because I can't see it from here, but I was thinking the exact same thing. I was just going to wait till we got off air to say that. But if you could print it, you know how like you could take that logo and print it on that white in the background, kind of like a silhouette.
Be cool.
Behind everything, and that way they would know.
Yeah, I got you.
That's free.
I got you. Okay.
That's free.
It's free.
Write that down.
That's a free idea.
Where's my checklist?
Write that down.
I'll send you an invoice later.
But the podcast isn't. The podcast isn't. And we're paid by the hour. So.
It's or 1% of sales.
Yeah. So what's going forward with Charter Trash? I mean, you just going to stick with what you got? Because I know what we have, what Josh has, I mean, what everybody has. I mean, Casticos, whatever, all of them. Once you get so much, like, how do you keep going and expand and have SKUs everywhere, or you stick to your basic, what you got? You know what I'm saying?
One of the things Jordan told me, and he hammered on this, he said, don't do too many colors.
Yeah.
You know, like, hone it down, and I can see you guys agreeing with that, right?
We did it. We did
100%.
the too many colors.
We went ham, and we were bright orange, green, red, blue.
Too hard to track.
And then it's too hard to track. It's like, do your best sellers.
Yeah.
And put those out there and stick with those.
So I'm in this phase of my wife and I talked about it last night, actually, proof of concept, which the Seafood Festival was a really big proof of concept moment for us. We crushed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And watching my son Trent shake hands and the eye I've been working on his handshake, right? Because we all know how important that is.
Yeah. Right. Stand up, eye contact,
he can
firm handshake.
Change back, approach the customer, you know, don't be pushy, like all these sales tactics that I've learned over the years. But so I'm testing. So I come up with an idea. I do the design. I order the transfers. I put it on a hat. We go to an event, and then I watch the reactions and I see what sells. Well, now we just launched the website last week, chartertrash.com.
There it is.
So so I'm in this like testing phase. Like you said, the best sellers is what you hone in on.
Correct.
Well, now I know next time I order, both of these actually, but especially this one, the next time I order this one, it'll be a much bigger order than it was last time. I get all of my screen printing done at Elite Screen Printing in Gulfport.
Okay.
Brandon Jones is my contact, and I got to tell you, that's who's putting out these
That's the old school
for us.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Right?
That looks real good.
I don't know if you're into football or teams from Louisiana, but if you are, there you go. So those
Saints
guys
and the Tigers.
Those guys do an amazing job. I got to tell you, there's been times where I brought some hats into Brandon, and they don't like that. They don't like it when you bring them the hats. You know, they want to order them, and something went wrong with it, and he wasn't happy with the quality. He threw them in the garbage, ordered some more hats, and he's like, "Man, we messed them up, but we're going to make it right."
Yeah.
Dude, those guys are top notch. I've worked with several other screen printers in the area, and I try to spend all my money locally as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And I got to tell you, just out of the people that I've tried, Elite Screen Printing Gulfport, those guys are rock stars. But
I like it.
Yeah.
I just dropped the link to the website in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. So anybody watching, you can click on that, and it'll be linked in the audio as well too. So you mentioned the website. If people are hearing this, they want any of this product, they may or may not see you out and about live anywhere. Can they go there and buy all this stuff on the website?
Please do. It's and look, I'm not a computer guy. Right?
I was looking at it though. It looks good.
It's pretty good.
Well,
no, it looks really good.
To me, I'm also a perfectionist, so I want it to be perfect, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be categories. Like there's some things I need to adjust.
Well, you can drive yourself nuts doing that.
Yeah.
I know, and that's me in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this damn label off. Like my wife trying to sleep while I'm up there grinding. But it's I'm still there's SKUs, there's things I have for sale that are not on there yet.
Right.
There's designs that are like literally coming in tomorrow, UPS, and I'll be up till daylight getting them ready for the Sheepshead Showdown event.
Saturday. This Saturday.
Yeah.
This
September.
Saturday, we're excited.
Oh yeah, it is a Saturday.
This Saturday, you better
30th.
be there.
I'm just kidding. I'll be there, guys. I sent out a group text the other day. I got this.
Waymaster.
Overpaid Waymaster.
Oh
Tag.
shit!
Wait, y'all pay?
Way overpaid.
Wait, no, they don't pay me. What are they talking about?
Oh, he's lying.
Way
You don't want the government to know.
This guy talking about we didn't pay taxes for a year.
Yeah, I'm like
But we went back and paid him.
This was jokes,
went back
dog.
and
This
paid
was
it.
jokes.
We went back and paid him.
IRS. Like, what is this
Right?
all about?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's an idiot. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that. Listen to the show. He's a moron.
This is who's teaching your children.
I think we made $36 that year, so I don't think it really hurt.
It ain't worth, it ain't worth the minutes on their cell plan.
You ain't married to an accountant, bro.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you.
How many entries do we have for the Sheepshead Showdown this year?
Right now, we have 75 in the main.
And that's before everyone comes in last minute and signs.
100%.
Yeah, that's before. It's 75 in the main. We have over 25 in each of the speckled trout, redfish, and flounder.
You mentioned something earlier about the veterans. How many veterans are we looking at?
We're looking at 30 veterans.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
29 to be
Are
exact.
y'all doing the same thing that we did for Bay Rat Bash?
Yeah,
For the
free.
veterans?
Yeah, free entry
Awesome.
for the main.
entry.
For the
For the
main.
main event, for the main
Yeah,
category.
if they
yes.
want to do anything else,
Yeah, that's Derek. Before we jump on that, is there anything we don't want to get too far away from
100%,
your show?
you're right.
Yeah.
So before, is there anything else we need to touch on? But check your bullets.
check your bullet points because I don't want to
Yeah.
show up
Wow,
prepared like this.
he was ready.
So I don't
Yeah.
wanna-
He was ready.
I think you
I
have
come in
it.
here, we just wing it.
We
Yeah.
nailed it. Oh,
I've only been 2 shows
Hold
where
on,
we had
hold on.
bullet points.
Hey, be quiet. He's got to check this stuff.
He's looking
All right, my bad, my
He's
bad,
grading
my
his
bad.
own paper.
Josh Harmon is a loser. I think.
Yep.
Oh, that's
we
in
got
there. That's
that.
in there.
See,
That's
elite screen
on multiple
printing.
episodes. It's in multiple episodes. So
Yeah, look, I mean, we're good. I think we hit all the high notes.
okay,
Undertaker Corks, that is very true. This is the best podcast.
yeah, there we go. Somebody send a screenshot of that to Jordan and Matthew.
Dude, I
please.
just ordered. I literally this week I just ordered some of those corks. Look, I reached out to Kenneth. Was like, look, I like your buckets. I want to do buckets like yours. I know you don't know me, but I want you to like where did you get the buckets? What was the price point? What was your quantities? Blah, blah, blah. Dude, this guy does not know who I am. Never met me in my life, and he shared so much information with me on that. I'm excited about the buckets that are coming down the pipe.
Undertaker, this
Yeah, Undertaker corks. So I just ordered some of his popping corks. He's got little skulls on them.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
cool.
it looks cool. It looks cool. As
And he's
hell.
got a bunch of different designs. He also has some like topwater lures that he's coming out with. So
That's cool, man.
Mhm.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're not Joey.
What is?
All right,
What
guys.
just happened?
The Joshes are they're multiplying. Would you get one wet?
No, so I'm going
Wow.
to make an official announcement here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
There's been a 3-team trade,
Yes, yes. Joey's out. Joey's out. He's
out.
no longer on the show.
and there's been an upgrade.
Yeah, oh yeah. Call him
Call
up.
it an
Up to
upgrade,
the
okay.
bigs, baby. Yeah, he's been a weak part of the show for a long time now. So I'm glad we got the upgrade.
You said
there.
something about taxes and IRS, and that was it.
That's it. He's gone.
The government came and got him.
I'm
Like,
out.
he just dragged
It
him.
was a black SUV showed up, tapped on my shoulder, and just said, "Be quiet." And I was like, "Yes, sir." Change the camera.
He's gone.
Shit. What did you? What you got? You got some new stuff over there? I saw.
No, so I swung by. We talking about the veteran stuff.
Yeah.
I went and picked up a gift card from Cedar Swamp for the veterans, and my merchandise I picked up today. I say merchandise, my shirts.
Yeah.
I picked up today, so I'm gonna give a few of those for the veteran
Hell
prize.
yeah.
yeah,
You want to
dude.
flash it to the
Nice.
camera, Joe? You hand it to him.
Give you a couple. Let you guys hand out a couple for the. Yeah, so they came in today. So
Hit that one right there.
Casting
close to
Coastal.
the- I can switch. Nope, you had it. I'm sorry.
that was
Yep,
me.
right there. Right
Yep.
there.
some
That looks
shirt.
good. Now
Yeah.
flip it around. Flip it around. Show the
Yeah.
front. So this is going to be a veteran prize. You said you're donating for the veteran side of
I
things.
got some gift cards, some
Yep.
shirts. We're going to give them to the veterans. Myself being a veteran, I felt obligated.
Hell yeah.
So
That's awesome, Josh.
that's why I said
Yeah,
That's
that.
awesome.
I think that's cool, and I
Love
think it's
that.
cool that we mentioned already in the thing about how everybody, like in the games, kind of helps each other out, and then freaking everybody showed up. We're only Jordan and Matthew really.
Where you at?
Yeah, where
Jordan?
they at?
What are y'all even
They're big.
doing?
They're big timers. They
I
can't.
know.
They can't be here.
I'm gonna try to get his autograph next time I see him.
It's beneath them.
Nah.
So, no, John. Hey, thanks. Joey said if they walk in, I'm
All
leaving.
right, guys.
Hey, thanks for that, though. We appreciate
man,
it, dude.
no
Thank
problem.
you very much. We're about to wrap it up, too, anyway. But no, man, that's a great story. I love the brand. I love the way it looks. Yeah, I really do. Like I said, you can ask anybody. I wear this hat a lot. Did you check your assignment? Did we cover all the
Man, I think we got at least a 90.
we did. Okay, well, hell,
Yeah,
shit, we're
you said
usually
the
at
last thing on there.
73 on this show.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
We're usually happy with the 73.
Yeah.
It's passing.
Yeah.
Hey,
C's get degrees.
C's get degrees, baby.
Yeah,
right.
right. That's scoring to that.
Oh,
Kenneth is
boy.
gonna be
Oh,
on.
Jesus.
Oh,
Another one?
Here we go.
Oh, here you go.
Oh,
God, dude. You
There's
got
the
to
other
come in
guy,
here and wave to the
JJ.
camera,
Yeah,
JJ.
come on.
Oh, but he's
Come on, you got to show face people think we're lying. Just
Flash
wave.
that
Wave
one
to that
right
one
there.
right there.
there we go.
Look
There we
there.
go.
Look,
All right,
another one.
Captain JJ.
God,
yeah.
dog. If I'd have known, we
I do it. Josh Arnold.
would have brought a
Hey,
lot
the
of
real
this.
Captain JJ.
Oh,
JJ
man.
Brumble.
Oh, God.
I'm just a
really?
Facebook captain.
I
really don't
really-
drive boats.
I really hope Justin doesn't see this because he's going to charge us by the number of
No
people.
joke.
and-
Yeah, we're only allowed 3 people in here. We have to pay after no, that was a great episode, though, man. If people are digging the stuff, they want to go check it out. Like I said, links below, chartertrash.com. Go buy something. You can
That's
buy it right
right.
there on the website. Love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep fighting the good fight, and we'll keep helping get the message out however, whenever we can.
Yep.
And this Saturday, September the 30th.
Yeah.
Right?
So Friday, tomorrow, we're going to be at Mr. Mike's at Wicked Fish Bait and Tackle. We're going to go over the rules, everything at the captain's meeting. Of course, it's not mandatory, but if you want to come by, even if you are registered in the tournament, you can still get a ticket to do the drawing. Mr. Mike has a couple of free raffles. You do have to be present to win.
The raffle.
Yes, to win the raffle at Mr. Mike's. It's totally different from the other raffles that's going to be going on for a tournament. This is only for tomorrow night.
For the captain's meeting.
Yeah, so if you're registered, come in, get a ticket, get some chicken, get some chips. We got some drinks going on. Check out Mr. Mike's store.
Yep.
He's got all kinds of stuff in there. He's got 2 buildings now. He's got Zach's old building now, so he's turned that into anything. If you need bait, fiddler crabs, any of that stuff, he's going to have that on hand. Then Saturday morning, we're going to get out there about noon. We're going to start setting up at the Blind Tiger in Biloxi. Instead of having the music after the event, we're going to have it from 2 to 4. So he's going to start playing at 2 o'clock. He's going to play till about 4:15ish. And then, of course, Blind Tiger, Scott Nim's going to have food, hamburgers, stuff like that. We're going to have a couple booths out there. We're going to have Charter Trash out there. We're going to have Mr. Don Bellius with Release Over 20. We're going to have a USM booth out there. We're going to have the Tackle 22 booth out there, of course, with Derek Calendar. He's going to have all those prizes and stuff like that.
We will also have the Mississippi Gulf Coast Fishing Bank.
Mississippi Gulf Coast
We'll be
Fishing
doing
Banks will be
a
out there.
membership drive,
That's
and
right.
you can come to the Charter Trash booth, and we will be signing people up. It's a $10 membership
For the
That's it.
year.
for the
That's it.
entire year.
And
Yeah,
you're
look,
about to get in a good time because we got a party in November. So
Yep.
you're going to get $10 to
Yeah.
get a party in November.
yeah, so y'all
But-
come out and
yeah.
support the Mississippi Fishing Banks.
Yep.
So what we're trying to do with this is we're trying to make it kind of like a smaller Pensacola mobile fishing rodeo where you got booths, kids can hang out, we got live music, we got food, we got entertainment. We're going to make a day out of it. So
Yep.
come out about 2 o'clock, hit all the booths, get all the stuff that's going on, hang out, get some food, some cold drinks, watch the live stream. And it's going to be a great time.
It's always a
every
great time every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we should be done, but like I said, we got weigh in from 5 to 6. 6 o'clock, we're going to throw somebody out there with his hand, probably JJ or JJ. Y'all fishing, right?
I got a trip that morning, but that afternoon.
All right. So whoever one of our guys is
Yeah.
going to be out
Oh.
there, they're going to throw the hand in the air at 6 o'clock. We're going to nail everything down. We'll give away 3 belts. We got the kids fishing, the adult championship, and the dive belt, and then we got a ton of door prizes donated by Nelson's. We got some caddy cans. We got all kinds of stuff, man. So it's going to be a great time.
Philip Michael says he's a huge fan of Fish in the North. Can I please get a shout out? You got it right there, buddy. You got it right there, Philip. It's all you, buddy.
North,
Wow.
north of I-10,
Is
right?
he a
Yeah, no,
big Muskie fan? He's a big Muskie fan.
You'd be amazed how many people hit me up on Charter Trash, friend requests, and y'all know what this is like, right?
Yeah.
Like filtering through I almost need a full-time person just to filter through friend
Oh
requests,
my
right?
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
It's
But there's so many people in other parts of the country who have latched on to
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, I don't even know. Is that a walleye? Or I don't even know what
That's
that
a
is.
muskie.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like nice looking muskie you got there.
That's not a trout. This is a trout.
If it doesn't look like a fake account and they've got any like couple mutual friends with me and they're doing anything on a boat or fishing, I just accept them.
Dude, I scroll through. Look,
but
the converse of that is if you're trying to sell Damascus knives or weight loss anything,
you're out.
You're out, bro. I'm sorry.
Try these pills.
Yeah. No.
Who knows what they do?
Well, look, thanks everybody for watching on the live, the replays, and listening on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I say, this Saturday, September the 30th. If you ain't doing nothing, come out, hang out with us. It's
Tomorrow night as well.
Yep. And if in the captain's meeting will be live streamed. Right?
Yes.
We said at the beginning on the
it'll be on Brownwater.
So you can watch that.
Facebook page.
You can watch that as well.